Live streaming is on.
Word.
Hi everyone, and hope you are enjoying Rodburn Redux today. My name is Marika, and today I'm here to talk with a band from Memphis, Tennessee. They play a mix of death metal and grindcore, and they have a new record out called Interstice. I'm happy, really happy to have here with me today Knoll. Hi guys, thank you so much for waking up so early on a Saturday morning to talk with me today.
Absolutely.
Our pleasure.
So after this interview at 20 past 4, if I'm correct, yeah, Europe time, we are going to watch your exclusive set for Rodburn. Can you tell us more about your performance and what we are going to see?
Yeah, so we're playing, I think, 5 or 6 songs. I actually can't remember exactly what. But Becky hit us up like really close to the Roadburn dates. I think it was like just a little bit over 3 weeks. And yeah, I've known about Roadburn since I was in like high school, which wasn't really that long ago anyway. But so I was immediately stoked about it and was like, oh, of course. So we just put it together as DIY as we could, you know. And we like self recorded it, self mixed it. So.
Yeah, so most of the songs from this live set, these sets are from your record Interstice. But I mean, before talking about it, we will get there later. I really would like to know how you guys met and decided to start a band in the first place.
Ooh.
Awesome question.
It was forever ago. Like I was 15 when we started the band.
Okay.
Evan and I, we played together in School of Rock, which is like, I don't know if it's international, but it's this program where just like kids get together and play cover songs, which isn't really the best. And we like really quickly figured out we were the only 2 kids that liked metal, so we just pulled out of it like immediately and just started writing, you know, whatever songs we could. And then we ended up meeting Lucas at some local shows and like just rotating through members until we came across Drew and Ryan, and then those were all the members that wrote and recorded Interstice. And then our drummer Jack, who's not here today, after we pressed Interstice, we ended up moving to Nashville, or at least half of us did, and that's where we found Jack. And now he's going to be playing on the future releases. So.
Okay, cool. I mean, you know, like for some people, writing music is a way to escape reality. For others, is a tool to spread a message and get people aware of what is happening around us. Interstice is your first full-length record. And what is this record actually about? And what do you want to express through it?
I think like putting out a full length as the, you know, the first like real big thing that we did as a band carried like 2 separate notions. Like conceptually, you know, there's a lot there and I can totally get into that, but also like in terms of just like DIY ethic and, you know, wanting to get heavy music out there, like we're all passionate, you know, about just getting something nice out there, you know, for people to listen to. And that was, you know, that was something great. But Interstice like actually conceptually is about like having a continuous sonic vessel for I guess all things negative. Like lyrically, I guess I'm the only person who was contributing to that a ton, but we definitely wanted to write a continuous piece of music, uninterrupted. And there's a ton of lyrical themes. Like I talk about like from cosmology to nihilism to, you know, existential dread, kind of stuff.
Yeah, okay. Okay, I read like you described the album as like a commentary on the most grotesque facets of man in linear struggle through time.
Absolutely.
So, yeah. So And this actually gives some insights into the mindsets of you guys as a band. I truly believe that as human being, we can do better. What are these like most grotesque facets of man that you are referring to?
I mean, like it's stuff that I guess like a lot of people write about. You can't really ignore it, especially I feel like maybe growing up in Tennessee and being around like all the religious imposes that you kind of fall upon, like being around here. It's just kind of hard to not, fall victim to that and be angry. So I mean, there's a lot of like anti-religious sentiment, anti-spiritualist stuff in general. Yeah, and we write about atrocity a lot, I guess.
Okay, I mean, do you think that living actually there in Memphis somehow inspired this record? Because as you said, it's not always easy, like to living there. As you said, it's like it's because of all what is happening right now.
For me, like definitely, like a living in Memphis, and B just like growing up young and on the internet where you can see like literally everybody's opinions ever, like at the click of a button. It really opens your eyes just to like awful mentality that a lot of people have, and it's hard not to be negative.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think that like musically Interstice is like it's the perfect match between like music and lyrics, and it's like I don't know, a mix of death metal riffs, low vocals, ambient segments, fast and low drums. I mean, I really love grindcore as well, but but when I play cello sometimes, because I play cello, I go for like, I don't know, songs like Avril 14th, like from Aphex Twin, or classical musician. The two things are not always like connected to each other. So what were you all listening to when you started like playing together? And were actually death metal and grindcore your major influences?
Honestly, I think it's all over the place. Everybody's definitely going to have a different answer for this. We can kind of circle around.
I want to know. Tell me.
I've been grindcore like since early high school, and that's just like anything with a blast beat in it is like my favorite kind of music. I listen to a lot of like indie stuff or anything too, but we definitely go all around.
Yeah, when it comes to Interstice influences specifically, yeah, a lot of death metal, a lot of grindcore. I can specifically name like Orchid and Convulsing to be like two huge ones for me when it comes to Interstice writing.
Okay, and you guys?
I was kind of like a kind of a mathcore kid in high school. I listened to a lot of like Dillinger Escape Plan and Converge and shit. And that was primarily what I was listening to when I joined this band. I'm not sure how much it actually contributed to like how I wrote parts of the songs that I helped finish up, but those influencers were definitely in the back of my mind a lot during that time.
Okay.
Yeah, it was when we started writing Interstice, we definitely listened to a lot of different music than we do now. It was kind of a journey to, I don't know, like, developing our own music tastes. But I definitely listened to a lot of like metalcore taken to the extreme, I guess a few bands that come to mind are like Crystal Lake or even like Norma Jean. Norma Jean was a big one that I loved. So kind of stuff like that was just very inspiring to me. For a lot of the distance.
I think as we were kind of figuring out our tastes towards writing the record, like we all more so settled on a common ground of just like anything extreme, anything like avant-garde and doing something creative and interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I saw photos of you like all together, and you were wearing like t-shirt from Blood Incantation or Tomb Mold or The Body. So are there some bands from the actual like underground music scene that you appreciate and you take inspiration from?
Oh my God, yeah, of course. I mean, all three of those bands we absolutely adore. I don't know if I consider myself like a huge scholar on the underground. That's probably like more is just like whatever I find cool. Okay.
So talking about underground, I like that you self-released the album. It's like the do-it-yourself approach that I always appreciate, because a band doesn't always need a label, to get out there. I mean, if a record is great, it's great no matter what. So, why this choice of self-releasing the album?
I think it came out of necessity, honestly. Like, I don't know, when we started like getting plans for releasing the record, we like wanted to do it last year, which was just like way too early. Like I think we wanted to put it out even before the pressing was done, which
Okay.
as soon as we got in contact with Becky, and she does like publicity and she works with Prosthetic, and they were helping us out quite a bit. So we still put it out independently, but Steve, who is just the best, he's their US A&R, and Becky were like hugely helpful to us. And so we ended up putting it out in February. But so as for putting it out like by ourselves, again, it was just I guess necessity, and yeah, like trying to keep that DIY ethic in the band, and really have control over what we're doing.
Okay. I mean, we live in 2021. I mean, everyone has like his music out there digitally, but you decided to go for a physical format, right? Why this choice? I mean, you could like actually just upload the tracks on Bandcamp, but you decided to go for a physical, I don't know, a physical like record, a vinyl,
Yeah.
So, why this choice? Do you like vinyl? For you, was important like to have a vinyl, like your record, on a physical support?
I guess a lot of it is kind of self-gratifying, honestly. Like I just love physical LPs. Like I think a lot of us collect vinyl, and I think it would have been a shame to not have the art like in a fully blown up format that people could really get their hands on. If anybody doesn't know, we worked with Ethan McCarthy from Primitive Man. He does art under Knoll Simulation, and he's like just absurdly talented. And I don't know if there was a way that after we saw that art, we like could not have a physical release of it, because it's just so cool.
Okay, we have a question actually from Becky, and she's asking, "Hello, Knoll. Who is your dream band to play live with?"
Think back around, my first, definitely Primitive Man, or one of the many projects.
Yeah, we all love Primitive Man. Like,
Me too.
And many blessings. It's kind of funny because our set today at Roadburn airs right before Primitive Man's new song and video, which is I'm really, really excited about.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you recorded like the record with Andy Nelson from Weekend Nachos, and you mixed the album with Kurt Ballou from Converge. So did you decide to work with them following a precise idea of the sound that you wanted to achieve with this record?
Yeah, I think so. Like, I think everybody in the band can speak for this. We just wanted, like a really high quality release. I feel like there might be a lot of bands out there like who, put a lot of time into writing material, and then they get out and they like put out a demo, and then like that's it, and it's like 4 tracks, and it doesn't sound superb. And we just really wanted to go as big as we could for this release. So, and I know Drew can speak for this as well. Like, we're both audio engineers and have just like loved Kurt Ballou for forever. And really admire like his techniques and stuff, and mixing analog with him was just, it was pretty nuts. And it, I think it sounds incredible.
How was the experience with Andy Nelson, like the old recording like experience with him?
The absolute best.
A lot of fun.
So much fun. I love that man.
He's one of my favorite people in the industry that I've met.
He's
Okay,
really,
yeah.
yeah. I mean, we recorded with him for 8 days in Chicago.
Yeah.
So it was a long drive, but it was like completely worth it. If you don't know, like Memphis to Chicago is like 8 hours, which I think is pretty reasonable for if you record for that long. But yeah, I mean, we were pushing ourselves for the record, and like that was stressful, and we were all stressed about like performances and whatever. But Andy is just like so conducive to recording, and he really knows how to get a band like in their best readiness, I guess, to record a record. So
Yeah. And what about the process of creation of the record? It was supernatural, fast. Did you take like a month to create the song? How was it?
Very all over the place.
Yeah. It took years, honestly. Like we formed in January 2017 and just kind of spent like we talked about earlier, like a year just kind of figuring out what exactly we wanted to do musically. Like we kind of started out as like a Southern Death project, and like some of that material, which there's not much, like nobody will ever hear that. It's not.
Well, I know for sure there is a demo recorded at Jamie's upstairs or something like that.
That is entirely erased from me.
Tell me more about it, because it was like
it's not a demo. We played like 3 songs to our friends in like my upstairs living room when I lived in Memphis. And we had like a drum machine because we couldn't find a drummer, and I played all the drums for the band.
Okay, cool.
It's really funny sounding.
All recorded from an iPhone, and I mixed it in Audacity.
I forgot about that.
Is it possible? Is it possible to find it like somewhere, like in the
No.
internet, or it's completely secret?
It's been erased entirely.
One day
There's
we'll
like the only post that still exists is like on r/black metal on Reddit, but the link is dead. And we didn't post that, I don't think.
So you started like in 2017, and now we are in 2021. How do you see yourself as a band now, like looking from to the beginning of when you started?
I mean, it's definitely come a long way. I feel like literally every day we wake up and learn something new. You know, we're just kind of stumbling through the DIY process of being a band, and we're like, frankly, like all really young. So there's really a lot to be had and in learning and where we're going.
Okay, but I mean, like, you are from Memphis. Okay, we already said that, and I never been to Memphis, but every time that I visit a city, I ask around about the local distro or the record store to buy and support the local bands. You already said that living there kind of inspired the records, but I want also to know if there are any local bands from your area that you take inspiration from and that we should know about.
Absolutely. We've got a really, really good friendship with this band down there called Autolith, and they have kind of helped us along the way from the very beginning. They're actually the first local show that Jamie and I went and saw together.
We saw them with Tune Mold. That was cool.
Yeah, that was awesome. And just from hearing them from the start, they're very inspiring, and we've become good friends with the band, and we're helping push each other along this entire way now. And they put out this album last year called Caustic Light, which is just stellar. I think everybody should go check that out. Yeah,
it's like a really good death sludge kind of thing. They got a lot of good melodic parts in there too. It's definitely my favorite band out of Memphis.
Absolutely.
Someone else? Some other bands that's you think we should check, or?
Oh, there's a lot.
Yeah. Reserving Dirt for sure.
Okay.
Entering.
Reserving Dirt Naps is like a hardcore band out of Memphis, and their singer Brandon, he puts together a ton of shows locally, and it's just the coolest dude. He's really intimidating, but really,
why?
He's very large.
I thought I was tall, and then I stood next to him. Oh,
he's for real 6'6" or something. That dude, really awesome. Reserving Dirt Naps is really cool.
When shows will start again? And you mentioned one of the first show you ever played, your upstairs apartment in Memphis. So, what we should expect, from one of your live shows?
What should the audience expect? Sorry.
Yeah.
I mean, we haven't played a show a for real show in so long. I think all of us just have a lot of frankly pumped up energy.
It's a good question.
Yeah. I don't know. I will probably be in the crowd.
Okay. Sorry, please go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, and we're going to be playing a lot of songs off Interstice, but there's a lot of other music that we're doing later this year as well. And we're preparing to have another LP come out next year, which is kind of soon. So I imagine by the time that shows like truly roll back around, A, we'll have more music released, and B, there will be like a lot more in the works that we're definitely going to be wanting to show off. But the songs off Interstice, like translated live, are pretty disgusting.
Okay.
People to hear them. So.
And so you are working like already on new material like right now.
Yes. We have 2 7-inches that are coming out later this year. Actually, one of them we've already recorded and is being pressed right now. The other one we're writing, and then we're working to have a second LP come out next year, which we've been writing songs towards that since we even recorded Interstice, or before we recorded Interstice rather. So that's been in the works for a while already.
It's just been a nonstop.
Okay, cool. I mean, it's I bet like for everyone, 2020 was like an awful year for a lot of reasons, but you guys like recorded a record, put it out like at the beginning of 2020, and you are still recording stuff. So it's a non-stop work for Knoll, like right now.
That's true. All you can do is make the best of it, and that's what we've been doing.
Definitely. We mentioned, like you mentioned actually, Ethan from Primitive Man, because he did like the artwork from your records. Why did you ask him specifically for the cover of your first full length?
Yeah, I actually remember being in the studio and talking to Andy about this. We had no clue who was going to do the art. I didn't even know who was going to master the record because we were just kind of figuring it out as we went. But we tossed around a bunch of ideas, and I don't think it was until we got the mixes that we were like, oh, wait, Primitive Man and like Vermin Womb have like the coolest art ever. And I didn't know that Ethan did.
True.
Yeah, I didn't know he did LP layouts for other bands. I mean, I'd seen his art everywhere and like the whole simulation stuff. But yeah, I think I just like reached out to him on Instagram one day, and he was like immediately just super warm and down to do it.
Yeah, but did you ask for a specific like I don't know, graphic, or I don't know, because the cover, I think the cover well represented the atmosphere of the old records. So I was wondering, what did you want the cover like to represent actually?
We definitely had stuff in mind, but when working with Ethan, I actually just forwarded him like all of the concepts and lyrics and like a rough mix of the entire record, and I just kind of wanted him to go wild with it, and that's what he did. And like the imagery that he generated based off of that, like just immediately clicked. I mean, there's a lot of like physical things in there that definitely correlate to the record. Like, actually, I have a copy of the LP right here because I knew we
show us
talk about the art. There's like an Infinistare, and that definitely relates to like incompletable natures of thought, I guess. And then there's a door. I don't know if he did this specifically, but there's a noise track off the record called Door to Moil, and there's a creepy ass door that's on the back, and I really love that. But yeah, Ethan's definitely got a style, and it's just like generally grotesque, and he does a lot of artwork around like, I guess, like anguished faces, and I think that really just like speaks to the overall agony that we are trying to put out on the record.
Okay, so after this interview, we are going to see your set at 4:20. This was actually like the last question that I had for you today, but I really want to invite people to watch the set and to follow Knoll, because everyone says that Knoll are young musician, young people that just recorded like and release a record. But if you actually listen to the record, it's such a solid release that you can actually know that they are so young. So I really recommend the album to everyone that is watching us, and watch the set because it's completely worth it. So thank you guys for being here with me today. It was a pleasure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
I really
talk soon.
Yeah,
thank you so much. Bye.
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 Bye.